Well, I don't think of love as, in this context, as emotional bosh. I don't think of it as a weak force. But I think of love as something strong and that organizes itself into powerful direct action.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to Your Day with Megan Tenea. I'm, of course, your host, Megan Tenea, and we are here with Katrina Billingsley, therapist here in the Raleigh area who specializes in couples therapy and relationship therapy. Now, this month is a very important month because February is observed as the month of love. So, Katrina, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is Katrina Billingsley, as Megan indicated. I'm a North Carolina native. I've been a practicing therapist for almost 3 years. I specialize in couples therapy, relationship therapy, but I really see people with all types of concerns and issues, from depression, anxiety, family issues, career issues, anything that could possibly concern you. You can talk to a therapist, and the therapist will help you get clarification on what's troubling you. So I've just found a way to specialize in working with couples because relationships are so vital to our lives. I'm a third-year PhD student in counseling, and so I've taken on relationships as my project. It will eventually turn into my dissertation and hopefully come out with some really valuable tools that will help people better their relationships.
Okay. So, exactly what is relationship therapy or couples therapy?
Well, relationships therapy, couples therapy by definition is two individuals who have come to see a therapist because they're having some type of issue within their relationship. So that can be a husband-wife, that can be premarital counseling for individuals who are on the road to matrimony, that could be a same-sex couple relationship. We need help. We're not, communicating well. He's not meeting my needs, she's not meeting my needs, whatever. You're coming for a third party who is unbiased to hear your concerns and help facilitate a more effective communication between you two.
Okay. So, how important is therapy before marriage or any type of commitment?
I think it's very important because being with someone every day, you kind of get into a routine. This is what you know, this is what you expect. However, you come to therapy and the therapist starts asking very potent questions, if you will, that will start revealing some things that you may never have thought about. I need to know about this person. So, I think it's really important. Because also, one thing that happens in therapy is you learn how to communicate better. And most people who are coming, that's one issue that they have. We don't communicate well. So the therapist is going to give you tools to do that. And if you can communicate, you can solve any problem that you have.
Okay, so we understand that communication is important, but how important is compatibility in a healthy and lasting relationship?
I think that depends on the couple. I think it really depends on the maturity of the individuals in the relationship. So we all want someone who likes what we like, want to do what we want to do. But in reality, you may not find someone who likes everything that you like. So it's really about having an identity for yourself, being able to do those things that you like, respecting what that person likes, and they respecting what you like to do or don't like to do. So it really depends. It really depends on the couple.
So I know a lot of people want to go to therapy due to several different reasons, but my concern would be centralized around confidentiality.
Okay.
So how important is confidentiality in therapy or your career field?
Yeah, confidentiality is the thing that makes therapy work. Because when you come to therapy, you want to make sure that the information you're giving to someone isn't going anywhere else. So that is number one. Number one is do no harm. in therapy. So you don't want to go to someone who's trying to, do harm to you. But number two really is confidentiality, because when you come, we can't tell anyone what you're talking about unless you are harm to yourself or are harm to someone else. So even in couples therapy, we come together, we talk, but you may have an individual session where it's just you and I, and your partner's not there. So the next session, we all may be together again. I'm never going to say, well, Megan said during our session X, Y, and Z. That's totally up to you to reveal to your partner what you want them to know. So that's very affirming for people to know that you're not going to spill the beans on me.
Okay, so throughout history, do you think that the idea of commitment has changed? Like, as time has gone by, has commitment and relationships in general changed?
I think so. I think that people have an idea of love relationships specifically. They have an idea of what that means, what having a boo is going to be. But when you're in it, it's really very different than your perception of it. And I think a lot of that is due to pop culture, reality TV. People don't really work. So you see on TV, someone getting divorced in 3 months or 10 days or what have you. It's like people are disposable. People aren't disposable. When you enter into a relationship with someone, you are transforming their lives, whether in a positive way or in a negative way. And so you need to take it very serious. So I think relationships and commitment have evolved, and not necessarily for the better, in some ways for the worse. But again, it also is a very individual thing, so it depends on the person and how serious they take being in a relationship.
So speaking on pop culture and today's society, same-sex relationships are very popular these days. Have you ever offered any therapy to same-sex, to persons of a same-sex relationship?
Oh, absolutely. One way that I think about couples therapy and relationship therapy is that even when you're in individual therapy, which means you're focusing on yourself, you're still benefiting your relationship. So I haven't had a same-sex couple in my office together, but I've had several individuals who identify as gay, lesbian, transgender, what have you, who are in relationships. And so a lot of what we've dealt with in their sessions eventually play out in their relationships to help better those relationships.
Okay. So is it harder maintaining a same-sex relationship, like based on what you have seen or have spoken with any of your clients about?
I think for a lot of people, if they haven't totally come out of the closet, that is definitely an issue that a heterosexual couple is not having to deal with. So that's going to make it a little harder, because you may have one individual who's out and open and is ready to tell the world, and you have another one who's not quite ready. So that is a barrier that has to be dealt with. So that would make it more of an issue. However, relationships are relationships. Whether you're my best friend or my mom or whomever, a relationship is a relationship, and it's going to be difficult because you have two individual people who are trying to make this one thing work. And so I don't really see it being any more difficult outside of who are telling me about this than any other relationship.
So there are several different types of love. If you Google it, love, it's all types of meanings of love.
Right.
So what type of love is most used in the type of relationship that you specialize in?
The type of love that I would say is used in love relationships, for some it's the eros, which is a more sexual kind of love, because in a love relationship, sex is not a part of that. However, I like to focus on unconditional love, because when you're in a relationship, you have to be forgiving. You have to, give grace and kindness to your partner, as opposed to flying off the handle and breaking a window or breaking a bone. You have to find ways that your relationship is as healthy as it can be. self-love. If you don't have self-love, it's going to be really difficult for you to love somebody else in the way you need to love them and in the way they need to be loved. So I'm a proponent of self-love, loving you, which will eventually make your relationships better.
Okay, so why can it seem like sometimes it's so hard to maintain a healthy relationship, whether it's, with a partner or a sibling or just relationships in general?
I think because people are very different. People are different and people have their own stuff going on inside of them. You can create a reality in your head that is not really reality. And so it's in your head, but then you're trying to operate in a real live situation with someone, and they're not on the same page that you're on. So I think relationships are difficult because we need to deal with our stuff and stop projecting our crap onto other people. So yeah, I might be jacked up, but I'm gonna avoid all of that and say that you're the jacked up one. But in reality, we're all kind of jacked up, and we need to own that and deal with it. I don't think people are effective communicators. So you think you're communicating, but you're kind of just talking, and people might be listening, maybe not. So people are not effective communicators. People don't want to do the work. People, I think this society, nowadays, most of us, we just want what we want. We want it how we want it. We don't do a lot of work to get it. So if you're going to be in a relationship, any type of relationship, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to give a little compromise. I'm all about negotiation in relationships. It's about what you negotiate, not necessarily what's presented to you. So you have to know how to communicate in order to effectively negotiate.
So reality TV is so big right now. We all know that. From the Flavor of Love to the Love and Hip Hops. Do you believe that reality TV has changed the idea of love, commitment, or relationships in general?
If you're into reality TV, and if you're really into that stuff, and if you really buy into that, if you don't have your own mind, if it's not just entertainment for you, then yeah. If it's I have a friend, she's a PhD, she's very, educated, but she loves reality TV because it's entertainment. But when you are watching these shows and you're trying to fashion your life after what's happening on TV, yeah, that's gonna kind of change.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Love with Katrina Billingsley, specializing in relationships. It's your day with Megan Tenea.